What up, people? I'm back here today on a Thursday. I'm going to start this new little series, and you may ask what it is, and that's Throwback Thursday. You know how on Instagram all these people, they take pictures of when they were young or a few years ago and they throw it up there, put a little hashtag, Throwback Thursday? Well, I thought I'd spin it off a little bit and put it here, right on YouTube. I'm going to go through my collection of what I have of stuff from the late 80s through the 90s, stuff that kids nowadays don't know about. And honestly, I think they are missing out on a big chunk of what was great, what made my childhood great. Maybe I'm a little biased and say because when I was a child I watched these, that's why they're so good. But to tell you the truth, I think just the storylines of all these between cartoons and movies and whatever it be, series, I think just the premise of those are better than what the kids have nowadays. So today I'm going to throw back old school to Disney, old school cartoons that I used to watch that I now have in my collection. And to start off, so you know what I'm talking about, this one, they got their own little spin-off show. These two characters, they were in Disney shorts with like Donald Duck or Mickey Mouse, and they were pretty much little terrors. Well, they reshaped these guys into their own little, not superheroes, but they have a nice little, what do you want to call it, company or thing that they do, and it's Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. Like I said, back then in those shows, they were the little mischievous things. In this one, they're the heroes. They got their own little rescue agency. Not only is it them two, but then you got this little mouse called Gadget, a little girl mouse that they all love. Then you got this bigger mouse, Monterey Jack, and he's got a little fly that helps him around, Zipper. And you got all evil guys. There's a fat cat. Then he's got his little henchman, which, to tell you the truth, offhand, I don't remember the names, but they have a cat and a little mole that's blind pretty much. Then you got an iguana. Then you got like all different sets of evil people. And it's pretty much in this show, they just go around and take charge. And if anything goes wrong, they make sure it's right. And old school, good stuff, Chippendale Rescue Rangers. On the verge or on the topic of heroes, in this one, it's got a new character. When I say new character, a lot of these TV shows had recycled characters. Like you would see them in cartoons or movies, and then they would come out and have these little TV shows. In this one, there is one like that, and it's Darkwing Duck. You got Darkwing Duck in here. He adopts this little girl named Goslin. And in here you got Launchpad McQuack. And if you know who that is, he's also in the next show I'm going to show you. But in this one, you got all these evil villains, and Darkwing Duck is trying to save the town, save whatever goes on. I know there's an evil guy in here named Megaduck. That's one of the only ones I remember. But there's also an electric guy that gets electrocuted and becomes like this all-powerful guy. Then there's a strange doctor that grew all these plants, and he got somehow changed into this plant monster. There's this dog that's water that can change and stuff. This was probably one of the first like action hero besides like He-Man and stuff. But this is what I grew up on. He-Man was a little before my time, like superhero kind of deal. I grew up on Darkwing Duck, and I grew up on Chippendale Rescue Rangers. And like I said, Launchpad McQuack, he was also in the DuckTales. So I got 3 seasons of the DuckTales. If you don't know the DuckTales, Scrooge McDuck, he is the uncle of Donald Duck. And Donald Duck is the uncle of Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and then another little girl named Webigail. Then you got, like I said, Launchpad McQuack. Then you got Gizmo Duck in here. You got the Beagles. I mean, if you haven't seen this cartoon, all this will sound crazy, but if you have, you know what I'm talking about. This is an old school, great cartoon that I grew up on. They had spin-offs. They had their own movies where one, they go back in time. Another one, they find a secret or a lamp and a genie pops out. That's one movie I actually am on the verge of trying to find. I don't know if they have it on DVD or not. But this show is another big part of my childhood. But to tell you the truth, there's some people that when they grew up, they didn't have Disney or didn't watch Disney. So these cartoons actually might not, they might not remember it. I watch both Disney and Nick. A lot of people watched Nickelodeon when they were growing up, so they'd know more TV shows about that. But I watched Disney. I had Disney, and growing up watching the movies, I watched Disney a little bit more with these cartoons. There's another box set that I remember being on Disney, but they said was actually on HBO. And this one here, I remember when I was younger, I don't know if it was just repeats or whatever, I remember seeing this show on Disney. But they said it was on HBO. I don't remember that because I never had HBO. But Fraggle Rock. I remember this. This is the whole box set. I got that for cheap somewhere. And that was one of my best buys. Being a DVD collector, DVD hoarder if you want to say. This was one of my best pickups. Fraggle Rock has all these little guys that live underground. You got little dozers that are actually smaller than them, and they build these like little towns of sugar and stuff, which actually these Fraggles eat. You got these giants that live outside, and then you got a regular person that owns this shop that inside the wall is where these Fraggles are. I think too that why I like these shows so much is because they were off the wall, and when you're a kid you like these off the wall things. Now you look at it, I think half the people that made these shows were probably doing a little something before they made them, because some of these shows are just out there, off the wall and crazy. But I loved them. When you were a kid, you liked spontaneous stuff. You liked different stuff that you didn't expect. Going from Fraggle Rock, you got this one, which is actually a little known one. For all the people that have seen Disney stuff, they know the Darkwing Duck, they know the DuckTales, they know the Chip and Dale. Not a lot of people know this one. This one actually was my favorite out of the whole bunch. It's got the first 3 seasons on here. I don't know if this is all the episodes, but I'm pretty sure they should have more. But this one is The Adventures of the Gummi Bears. Not a lot of people know this. They're in their own little land. It was pretty much back in time with like the knights and dragons and such. And these guys have made their own little, it's called gummy berry juice, where if they drink it, they end up bouncing away. They bounce up trees, they bounce away, whatever. They befriend this kid in the kingdom. I don't know if he's going to be king or whatever, but they got all their little spin-offs and little stories. They're bad guys and whatever. And pretty much they're also heroes in a sense. They helped this young kid in all his adventures. Now that I think of it, a lot of these are like back in the day are hero. Like there's good vibes. Nowadays you get all these cartoons that have weird vibes. Back in the day it was heroes. You got all these good guys versus bad guys, and usually the good guys won. And the last one here, like I said, they like to reuse characters and such. And this one actually I think has more than usual. And this one, if you've ever seen The Jungle Book, you know what I'm talking about. And this is Tailspin. It's got Baloo, it's got Shere Khan, it's got who else is in the monkey, King Louie, all with different names, but they got pretty much the same people in it. And then you got this new one, Kit, which is this little guy. Then you got the one woman, Rebecca, which is not on here, but he befriends this woman named Rebecca who has another little girl, and You got Shere Khan and his men going after Baloo and stuff. So there are in these cartoons all different storylines and such. But that's about it. I mean, these are the old school Disney shows that I used to watch, that I used to love, and that right there is my Throwback Thursday. I'm going to try to do this every week and bring back what I grew up with. Next week, I think I'm going to do some old school Nickelodeon shows. I don't know if you can see them up in the corner over there, but I got more Nick shows than I do Disney shows because I don't see many cartoons or series on Disney that are on DVD and such. So if you like this, give me a nice little thumbs up. Comment me. Let me know what you want to see. Follow my little Twitter page. Go to my Facebook group and join if you want to see more stuff. And, like I always say, until the next time, I'll see you.